Right, here we go again. Let's turn down this news because it's driving me nuts. Another day, another Corona day. Not looking very nice out there, but I'm going to read out some of this notes. A friend of mine's from a lot of years, and I saw for a long time now. I hope he's still okay. Davy Wheeler was his name. He wrote this book. Him and some of his friends wrote this book. I don't know. Let me think. See if I can find the date. 1986. Davy done this book. Now he's he's one of the funniest people I ever knew in my life. Really, his humour was just out of this world. He went to grammar school. And I think he was very, even though he acted a bit crazy and what have you. And I think he was a very intelligent man. Me and him got into some business ventures when we were a lot younger. He once came up with an idea. I used to make chess sets, beautiful chess sets, with reconstituted stone. I used to make the boards as well, and just I used to sell them. I used to go down to the Aberdeen when the Castlegate had a market. Brilliant. What day was it? Was it a Friday? I can't remember anyway. I think it was a Friday. Anyway, I used to go way down there with all my chess sets, and I used to sell quite a lot of them. I used to go to the art fairs, antique fairs, because some of them were fake antique. They were made to look like antique, but I still managed to sell them. Anyway, Davy came up with an absolute stunning idea for these chess sets. Box them, make them presentable looking, but photograph on the cover whatever kind of chess set it was, whether it was Staunton, whether it was Japanese, Mandarin, Reynard the Fox. It was 20, 30 different types of chess sets, ranging from miniature little wee Japanese guys with their hats on, they were the pawns, right to Reynard the Fox. And the king in that one was, I'm sure it was a lion, and it stood 7 inches tall. They were stunning. They were stunning. Anyway, Davy recognised they were really, really good. He came up with this plan to get hold of some, what do you call them? Like, I don't know what the hell you call them. Anyway, I'll just say tickets. Tickets anyway. And he was going to go around the pubs and sell these tickets and show them what they could win. It was a chess set. I really don't know. I can't remember because I lost touch with them. I don't know what happened to that. It would have been. It was a good idea. It really was. He was going to be doing it. He was going to. I think it was when he first moved to Kemney. Was it? Because he wanted to go around the Kemney pubs and try and flog them when people were a bit boozy. He knew what he was doing. I remember back to when we were staying together. Not together. He was my neighbour upstairs in the counting house down at Granham, and we managed to come across. I went for a walk one day and came across Bulgownie House. Where I think I can't know if I was looking for this or no. We came across. I think it was called Bulgownie House, along the side of the River Door. Huge house, it had a huge orchard, garden, a walled garden. Inside this walled garden was rack and ruin, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pots. We trundled back with these pots all the way back to the counting house. Wondered what the hell I was going to do with these pots. But Davy found an idea. We filled them with compost, but packets of vegetable seeds. We started planting all these lettuces, carrots up in the loft because the counting house had an absolutely huge loft. It ran from one end of the house, the counting house, to the other. So it was massive. And we started growing all these things. And I remember we got one day and sure as fate, they all started sprouting because it was quite bright up there. There was skylights and what have you. But I can't remember. I think we just gave them away. I think the original intention was to sell them, but I don't think any one of us had a car at the time. So anyway, Davy and his chums. Can't receive any names in here. In collaboration with, as featured on Damien McLeod's show North Sound Radio. Now, I'm not going to read the whole book to you. Davy, this is fair use. Fair use. I don't think you'd object to me using it. I don't know if you can or no, but you might just because sometimes you're a knock on a little bugger, well, big bugger. He was a tall man. Anyway, I hope you're okay, Davy. And Joan, your wife. I was young David. Was it young David? I think it was. Hope you're all still. Anyway, I'm going to read just one or two of these things. I'll find some of them. Hang on a minute. I'll pause it for a second. I've got to get different glasses on. Pause. Where the hell's the pause? This thing. Here we go. Pause. Right. I can read better with these glasses. They look stupid, but here we go. Very first page I've opened up, and I think they're really funny. But Davy, how could you describe his humour? I thought it was absolutely brilliant. But sometimes, I think you had to really click on his humour, because a lot of his things that he wrote was Aberdeen dialect. Call it Doric if you want, but most of it was Aberdeen dialect. And also, there was things in him you had to think about. Not all the time. And probably they used to pertain to what was going on in 1986. So you might go over your head sometimes, but think about it. And it was some of them he used to write was called. It was once a Scottish poet called McGonagall. McGonagall, I think it was McGonagall, and he used to write poetry that people thought was absurd. That was in the choir taste. But anyway, Davy's landed doing McGonagall. Yeah, they're all called McGonagall. This one's called To a Coo. Auntie Beldy bought a coo. She kept it in her baccy. She can't hang out her washing noo. Her slippers I get tacky. Right, this one's to Mary's brother. To Mary's brother. Mary had a wooden sledge. Her brother had a mallet. He broke it into strips of wood and made he sell a pallet. Mary had a wooden, I like this one. Mary had a wooden spoon. Her brother used to lick it. He didn't like the taste one day and tell the fart to stick it. Come on. Right, let's go at the beginning. Let's start the beginning. Published by Davy D. Weller, but he called himself Weller there. I don't know why. Maybe for knowing him, he'd some other scheming to go. We were always scheming. The two of us schemed and schemed and schemed and schemed. Ways of making money and fiddling this and fiddling that. And he was a man for it. He was a man for it because he'd some head in him. But yeah, well, he'd some head in him. Printed by Rainbow Enterprises Dice. That's the people, if they're still on the go, I'd like to approach about getting my 300-400. Where the hell are they? They're down there. Notes published. It's nearing fruition. Anyway, it says inside, I got this from my brother Edwin, my late brother Edwin. He knew I liked Davy, we were good friends. I don't know how Edwin landed up with it. It says inside, can you read it? To Edwin and Sheila from all the Fumblebum Agency, Dave. That's what they call themselves. The Fumblebums. Even that was funny, I suppose. It's supposed to be funny at the back. A wee bit at the bottom. It says Special Fumblebum Oddment Day Sale. A special Fumblebum Oddment Day sale price, £3. Well, that's probably the right price, but Davey had to, or him and his friends had to make something funny out of it. Anyway, let's see what else we've got. Right, here we go. More McGonagalls. McGonagall. McGonagall. I can't pronounce that because it's strange writing. Look, not strange writing, but that's it anyway. Can you read that? Yeah, anyway. Here we go. Only because we're stuck in our house as I'm doing this. I took my dog to Hazelhead. I saw it eating garden seed. Fitted, I'm not quite sure, but now I've got a cauliflower. This one's to a sair arm. The doctor told me not to rub it, but I did. I knew it's scubbit. This one's to a dirty face. Every time I eat a melon, my mother I tell me, no, every time I eat a melon, my mother I to me is telling, after eating anything fruity, wash your face and use a clootie. It's really silly, isn't it? It's really silly. They make you giggle. They're really silly. Right, further on, and later on in the programme, I'll be talking to the man who has recently had his first book published on the use of 4-letter words. There we go. And he'll be telling me how he swears by it. Did you get that one? You probably did. And I hope to be having a word with a work-conscious man who has just pulled out of his work's acrobatic team, because he didn't like going over the boss's head. Think about it. And I'll be talking to a very angry man who caught his wife playing chess in the nude. And I'll be asking him how long he intends keeping her in check. Davey. Oh, Davey. Oh, you're brilliant. Everything's, there's nothing serious. Here we go, there's another one of the names. Fumblebum agencies are registered in Gotcha company registration number. Directors D. Weller and M.G. Hulse. I think it was Mikey Hulse. All grammar school guys, if I remember rightly. There was another guy who used to call him Bunts. He went to grammar school, he was friendly with them. I thought he was going to be involved in this, but I don't think he was. Maybe they all fell out. This book, oh dear, this book is copyright. No portion of it may be quoted in public or reproduced by any process using steam induction in confined spaces, nor may it be used in the building of any sea-going vessels without written permission. All inquiries should be addressed to the nearest Fumblebum offices. Conditions of sale. This book is sold subject to the condition that it shall not be by way of trade or otherwise be lent, sent, bent, resold, hot or cold, or hired out in any coastal areas of the North East, including Kemnay, Mintlaw and Pitmaiden. Nor will it be available for sale in areas of major industrial development such as Fyvie, Kintore or Terfins, or the mining towns of Aboyne or Moneymusk, in case it is circulated without the publisher's prior consent. It's just all madness. Other books in the series. Collecting hedgehogs for fun and profit. That's one of the books in the series. It's tongue-in-cheek again. Why can't I use a typewriter? Well, you'd have to see it. I took my steam iron to work with me because of pressing engagements. How to become a famous DJ in only 24 hours. I think he's having a go there at Damien McLeod, I think. How to sell double glazing in Cruden Bay. I don't know. Let's see what else we got. There's a big thing here from Damien McLeod. A lot younger then, obviously. Never met the man, and he says, honest, it's nae my fault. One day, way back at the start of 1984, someone from North Action Office I'm not going to read all that. It's there anyway. Another day I'll read it all. Let's find something else. I'll read the first thing I come to here. And firstly, we've just heard that the boy man who won a load of sawn down trees in a raffle run by the Forestry Commission has just admitted today that he's having problems trying to get somebody to take them off his hands. It looks as if he's been lumbered with them. You probably won't find it funny. It went away back then. It was absolutely, I thought it was hilarious. And several of the members of the Donside Club for Short-Sighted Fishermen were taken to hospital yesterday suffering from food poisoning after a mishap in the clubroom's canteen. It seems that somebody mistakenly left a tub of maggots next to the sugar bowl on the snack bar counter. Let's go forward. Oh dear, oh dear. Noddy in the cowpat. I'll be talking to the local sweepy who got tangled up with his brushes and fell down a factory chimney stack he was cleaning, and I'll be asking him if he followed suit. Got it again, see? Davy. I suppose some of them were out. You've got to read them, I suppose. And I'll be meeting a rather unusual man who for the last 5 years has been keeping all his money in his bath, and I'll be asking him if he intends dipping into his savings. Oh dear. And I hope to be talking to the man who is giving up playing cards blindfolded with his hands tied behind his back. And he'll be telling me how he's not very sure what he's dealing with. You've really got to think. And I'll be having a chat with a Cooter hairdresser who has just invented the world's first ever rotary hairdryer. And I'll be asking him if he's hoping to turn a few heads with it. Some of them are really over the top. Bucky attendant administrator. Fumblebum employment. Situations vacant. Oh, it's supposed to be epitaphs. Epitaphs. But he's called it, or they've called it, I shouldn't say Davy. I use the word Davy, but it's because it's a new Davy. I knew Mike Hulse as well, but I knew Davy best. This is they've called it epitaphs. Epitaphs, but it's epitaphs. Under here lies Rachel Foggies, lost her leg while chopping cloggies. One thing sure, without a doubt, she's 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Okay. Here lies well of Jimmy Tunney, lived his life on borrowed money. The monument erected here is mortgaged over 20 year. Okay. Here lies Johnny Ogg, who thought he was a collie dog. He chased the sheep from top to bottom till one day the shepherd shot him. I still think that's funny. Under here lies Barry Reese, who dreamed of sailing stormy seas. The raft he built was something new, and like the raft, his hopes sank too. Oh, great. Oh. I'll be talking to the man who hopes to run for president of the newly formed Bonnicorn Hard of Hearing Club, and he'll be telling me why he thinks he's in with a shout. Not politically correct, it was 86. Yes, dear. I hope to be interviewing a man who carries a plate of alphabet spaghetti everywhere he goes, and I'll be asking him not to put any words in my mouth. I'll be meeting a flight captain in the Royal Air Force who doesn't get on very well with the rest of the squad, and I'll be asking him if he's rotten to the core. You really have to think. And I'll be having a chat with a man who is very pleased with his appointment as manager of a French headwear company. And I'll be asking him if he really thinks it's the berries. Okay. Here we go. Stick with me. Poems of pleasure. I'll try and read it with emphasis. It's called Why. I close the door and now alone I feel so cold and grey. I do not like this dreary place, yet still I come each day. I look around with heavy heart. A teardrop flows and falls. No dancing shadows have I seen upon these cold damp walls. I look around with weary eyes to walls of aging stone, imprisoned with my loneliness where winds of time have blown. I sit here bathed in helplessness and thoughts of no. I sit here bathed in helplessness and thoughts so insincere. As chilling winds blow through my heart, there is no comfort here. With quivering lips I clench my fists, and lift my head up high. I pray that someone listening will hear my forlorn cry. Why can't we have an inside toilet like everybody else? I wonder if Davy and his friends really made up that whole thing apart from the end. But knowing them, they probably made up the whole damn thing. A lot of work went into this, you know. See if I can find any more McGonagall's. I'll shut down, 'cause that's 20 minutes. Oh, here we go. Tia Moose. A wee stab at Robbie Burns, I suppose. But anyway, Tia Moose. In this field there lived a moose. To lose some weight, it just drank juice. It got thinner week by week, and now it's got a narrow squeak. Come on, come on. Uniback, for God's sake, giggle for God's sake, when you're sitting there with a face like a bloody backside. I make your wife a cup of tea. This one's called Tia Birdie. In the roost a birdie cluckit. The place was clean, but she was mucket. Last one to a horsey. My brother was a clever kid. He bought a horse for 60 quid. Though everybody said he'd been stung, he made a fortune selling dung. I'll be interviewing a pop star who hired some of his local MPs as session singers on his latest hit record. And I'll be asking him this is the first time he's had government backing. Aye, David, are you political? You want another poem of pleasure? Right. I stood upon these pastures green, my thoughts of life and what has been. Those hills, these glens, these rambling plains, are flooded from the fertile rains. Each blade of grass with care is made, the beauty of each flower Each blade of grass with care is made, the beauty of each flower displayed. Each plant, each bush, each tree unknown has blossomed from the seeds once sown. Each stone that makes this path so high lead up to meet the sunlit sky has lain untouched by careless hands that mar the peace of other lands. In silence of the morning haze, I watch the lowly cattle graze, content in life without a care, their peacefulness engulfs the air. I ponder these as minutes pass, as beating wings rise from the grass. I lift my head to watch the birds and stop at once in search of words. Anybody got any paper hankies? I've just stood in something. I don't know what you'll make of that. There we go. I don't know who Stan Castles is. It obviously must have been one of their friends. This is a private and confidential. Will Stan Castles please call at the Fumblebum reception desk and uplift the circus tent and poles he left there in the pretext that was an unwanted birthday gift which was given to him by Mike Hulse. We have contacted Mr. Hulse personally and he has shown us the Polaroid photo of you signing the hire purchase papers in the Westbourne Park paddling pool. Got to think about that one. They're having a go at each other there, I think. Situation's vague. I was to have been meeting one of the grubbiest petty thieves in the country, but he nipped into the police station on his way here and he has come clean. And I'll be talking to a man who is very excited about finding a wooden box full of Victorian Easter bonnets buried in his back garden. And I'll be asking him if it isn't just a load of old hat. I'll be meeting some of the members of the Udney Choir who specialise in singing Scottish Negro spirituals, and with a bit of luck they'll be singing a few bars of their latest record. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Laird. Okay. My family used to stay at Udney Castle, the lodge. I think my great grandfather was I think he was a gardener. Everyone's gone, I can't really ask. Udney Castle, Monbodda Castle. I'm reminiscing again. He often used to speak about the hills of Bervie. Presume it's Inverbervie, out Inverbervie way. Fly down the hills of Bervie in a homemade carty. Anyway, I hope to be talking to a well-known masochist who put instant whip on his eyebrows and got another 14 lashes. Okay. No more, no more. All right, right, another page. McGonagall. Tia Bull. In this field, when I was comping, o'er the hills a bull came stumping. He stopped at deed and gave twa snorts, and so did I. I'd filled my shorts. This one's Tia Horsey. I saw this Clyde's horse in the midden. He couldna walk, his legs were wooden. That's Tia, the last one. Tia Sairlug. Little Johnny cast a stooshy, doing something in the bushy. His mother said, "You can't do that," and scalped his lug, the little brat. I presume. Well, we'll read some more last epitaphs. This is the last. Flattened here is Nancy Ben, who worked with elephants since 10. She would have been retiring soon if Nellie hadn't sitting down. When he fell, start again. When he fell, poor Frankie Scallop gave himself an half a wallop. Serves him right for jumping out or planes without a parachute. Okay, Davy, you are struggling there. Charlie Black was quite a cheese, as vinegar he drank with ease. With his newfound fame he was quite tickled, and now he lies here half pickled. Under here lies Gladys Dutch, who loved her trifle far too much. Pigeons o'er here are dropping, stuff that looks like birds' dream topping. It's addictive. Still the epitaphs. Buried here is Stuart Govan, tried to fix his sister's oven. The match he lit completes the story, 'cause he left in a blaze of glory. Boom. Underneath the I was going to start singing there. Here you go. Underneath the chestnut tree is where Bill Prattle's grave should be. The conkers fell on poor Bill's head, and he conked out, and now he's dead. This marks Pilot Joe's last flight. He flew in here one summer night. He must have had a problem landing, for now he's 6 feet understanding. Under here a bonny lass, Mavis Tate, she cut the grass. On how to cut she wouldna listen. She's in this hole with some parts missing. Oh, well. Anyway, Davey, I really hope you're alright. You give us some character. There's another book over there if I could find it. It seemed to have disappeared. That was written by an Aberdeen guy as well. McKissick. They used to have the shop. I think the shop was called the Wee Wonder. Wee Wonder. Along Great Northern Road. He wrote it. I think he was a church elder. Woodside South Congregational Church. I'm not sure. We'll have to try and find it again. I haven't saw it for a while. I hope I haven't given it to somebody and didn't get it back. But anyway, he wrote quite a lot of stories about Aberdeen, around about Aberdeen, with some worthies. I'd love to do that. Aberdeen, when I was a kid anyway, I don't know about now. I presume it's still the same, because I've stayed in Aberdeen for a long, long, long time. There used to be tons of Aberdeen worthies around about Woodside. There was Charlie and his dog. Used to wonder about his bonnet on, his raincoat, and always had a little wee tabby hanging from his mouth. It looked like, well, when we were kids, it looked like he had a groove in his bottom lip where and it was brown where the tabby used to sit. And he used to come into the pub when I was up there sometimes with my father having a Coca-Cola or something. Charlie would come in and he would sidle up to you and, hey, you want to see this, you want to see this, you want to see this. And he'd always show you bits of paper with things wrote in it. No, I don't know if it ever made sense because my father, or anyone whoever was there, never showed me what the hell he was writing. But I think he dropped one once and it was just a heap of nonsense. That was Charlie. Then I was Bonehead. Used to call him, we called him Bonehead. He used to wander about his bike constantly with a bag over it, picking up scrap and anything you found. Bonehead. I wonder if he's still on the go. I was into the PDSA a while ago with one of my friends, Cats. And this guy came in and he looked at me, stared at me, and he stared at me, and he was very reminiscent of Bonehead. And he come up to me and said, I know you, I know you. I said, I think you do. I said, you seem to recognise you. She said, how you doing, how you doing? It looked like Bonehead, but I don't know if it was just a guy, it was a wee bit slightly ski whiff. And he was just wanting a conversation, but it did look like Bonehead. But he didn't seem to have aged much at all. Anyway, I used to be Jimmy Eyes. Jimmy Eyes used to walk past our prefab all the time, stop, look in the window and spit. He used to have these very thick glasses. That's how we called him, Jimmy Eyes. Raincoat again, these thick glasses and his hat. Poor bugger was found at the bottom of cliffs someplace. Just disappeared and was found at the bottom of cliffs. What a character was a Henny. Don't know why the hell we called him Henny. Henny Mocha Pipey. Henny Mocha Pipey. Just an older guy. I think once you reach a certain age, people thought they could make a fool of you. Henny Mocha Pipey, because he always used to, once again, in his soft bonnet, his raincoat, always smoked a pipe. That's where it came from, Henny Mocha Pipey. Henny Mocha Pipey, Jimmy Eyes. Dear oh dear. What other worthies was a guy used to stay in Kilgour, someplace, I'm not going to mention his name. But we were around one day, big crowd had gathered round it, what they called it, I'll just say it's a big field, we called it the Cumpies. There used to be Nissen huts there, it was a camp for prisoners of war during the war, I think. Most of them were down. Anyway, we crowded gathered there, and one of the worthies from that area was on top of his roof with an umbrella, waiting for him to jump. And he kept on saying, I'm going to jump, I'm going to jump. I think we landed up standing there for over an hour and a half and just trying to say, oh, bugger this, I keep I'm out here. There was another guy, very last guy. What did we call him again? Geronimo. I think we called him Geronimo. Yeah. Rumour was, just kids' rumours, that he used to wander about with an axe in his pocket someplace, but I think that was shit. But anyway, a few years later he got done for murder. I think he was a night watchman down at Hutchie's Scrap Merchants in Pursley. I think he got done for murder. Or he didn't get done for murder, he landed up in Carstairs or something. Maybe all kids' stories. Maybe all kids' stories. You know what like kids are. They log into what their mum and dad are saying, they usually it's just a load of shit. And we've been on to go for 33 minutes here. I'm calling a halt. Anyway, that's Davey, you're not getting your book back. Maybe you should do if you're still on the go, Davey, maybe you should do a follow-up. I'm sure your humour must be exactly the same. Especially right now with this corona keeper going on. Be a call for that. This is the very last page. Here we go. It says, and extremely finally. The Fumblebum Agency would once again like to take this opportunity to thank all those concerned for giving their valued assistance throughout. Contrary to public opinion, there will in fact be more literary silliness in the not too distant future, unless, of course, Damien's prophecy does come true, and we are locked away for the safety of mankind. However, in the meantime, please keep your eyes and ears open for the very imminent and extremely forthcoming Fumblebum productions and publications. one of them. Second one, Fumble Bum live at Carnegie Park. Some extreme silliness with a local flavour which should hopefully bring a smile or three at the drop of a hat or a balaclava. Coming out soon in a cassette tape. The best of Fumble Bum limited edition. All the Fumble Bum letters and much more. In a new handy carry everywhere booklet that fits most sideboards and bedside cabinet drawers. So nobody knows that you've got it in the house. It's priced at $1.25. I don't know if it's, but I would think that's a bit sad. Now at the end it says proceeds in aid of multiple sclerosis. I would think that's true. I hope nobody had multiple sclerosis. Davy or Joan. I never knew that bit. Maybe that's true that. Maybe it wasn't. Multiple sclerosis. Anyway, if it is, I hope you made a few quid. Doodle-oo, 35 minutes, oh my god.